Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back to the show. We are joined once again by Jax Schott. Excited to have her back here from Island Om Yoga and Barre Studio, based out of Roosevelt Island in New York. And excited to have her back here to talk more about the benefits of yoga and, of course, fitness and how she's helping so many people with her sanctuary, in a sense. How's everything going today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I got to ask, we're in the same territory here in New York. Did the studio open on Sunday, or was it closed down from the snow?
Oh, no. New York City doesn't get snowed in the way Long Island might get snowed in. No, we were up and running. We had a nice full class yesterday morning. And I do want to give a shout out today. It's my daughter's sweet 16, so my first baby. So that's been on my mind today because, as I'm juggling everything, but she was my inspiration for the studio. So I just wanted to give Sienna happy birthday.
Beautiful. Happy 16th birthday, Sienna. Any special plans? What are you going to be doing with her?
We're going to a dinner in Midtown tonight. Gail's. It's singing waitresses, like Broadway actors and actresses, singing and serving food. So that's kind of right up her alley. So we're just going as a family tonight. And she's had some birthday gatherings with her friends. So
that is
she's
exciting. Well, congrats. So you got birthday on your mind. You're looking beautiful today. Tell me about the necklace you mentioned, the chakras.
Yeah. So this is it's all the chakras lined up. But there's one specific chakra that was added for the heart chakra, and that is my Star of David. So it was from an Israeli jewelry designer, and I purchased it over a year ago, and I just wear it with love and pride, and it kind of unites both my faith and my spirituality, which I love.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you for being here. And for those that may not know, let's just dive into just a little bit about, the studio and your passion and all you have to offer. And, where did you want to begin for today? I'll just, ask you.
Well, like last time we talked, we covered a lot about the studio, but we didn't go into like too many specifics about the classes. And I thought that it was important to share. I talked about some of my instructors and how I've supported them in finding their own voice and finding their own style. And one of our most special classes are on Sunday nights. It's a candlelight yoga class with Amanda, and her husband comes and plays the live chaturanga in class, which is kind of like a string guitar, sitar instrument, yoga instrument. And, people come with their spouses, they come with their child sometimes. They're really shanti, meaning very relaxing and peaceful class. Mm-hmm. Way to end the weekend and prepare your mind for the week ahead. So I want to give my teacher Amanda a shout out for that, because that was a really special class she's created and grown, and it's one of the favorites among Island Om, and it's for every level, so anyone can do it.
Wow, I love this. And even beginners. And that's another thing. Sometimes people are intimidated by the word yoga, the word studio, and they're feeling insecure and nervous, like what it's like to, how are people going to welcome me and treat me? And I know at your studio, I mean, you welcome beginners, and you're all supportive, and you're like a community and a family of people, right?
We really are. Like I said, we don't really like to label classes as far as levels, and that, for most people who are just getting back to the mat or who are starting out, it makes it a lot less intimidating for them. And unless it's specified like a beginner or level 1 class, really anyone can take a class. We will warn them if there's a class that tends to be a little more challenging than the other, but that doesn't mean they can't do it. And for me, it's really important to share with others that through any physical limitations that you might have, um, your yoga is your practice. It's not about the fancy pose. It's about how you feel in your body. So, I think I told you last time I was pregnant when I started teaching prenatal, and that was really a wonderful building block for me in order to learn how to modify for all people's abilities and
Mm-hmm.
limitations. And dealing with chronic pain and dealing with autoimmune issues. I feel like it's so important to that people know that their practice is their own, and it's wonderful to see like people of all ages coming in and feeling intimidated, and then at the end they're saying, "Oh my God, it's the first time I've taken a yoga class that I felt I belonged in,"
Yeah.
and that is I think that's really the special thing about Island Home. Not to say anything about any other studio, because every studio has its own special um, energy and community. But I really love like seeing someone maybe in a headstand while the other person's in child's pose, and it's still an inversion. They're still getting the benefits of the blood going to their brain and refreshing their cells, and being able to be in their own breath and be in their own space. And so whether or not you come to Island Home, you should always make sure you talk to a teacher and make sure that you let them know about any physical limitations that you might have, so you can feel welcomed and you can feel part of a community regardless of your abilities.
Beautiful. And I know one thing we chatted last time, but new listeners may not know. I love what you called it was sexy pause, like menopause, right? Like
Yes.
people our age who are going through like menopause, perimenopause, but the importance of strength training and doing yoga and being in tune with our bodies and making our body stronger is so important. And I know that's part of your total mind body support system at Ohm as well, right?
100%. And, like I think I did say it last time, a lot of, we have participants of all ages, clients of all ages, but a lot of the clients tend to fall in that 45 or 40, I should say 40 to 60 year range. And I have dived deep into the perimenopause, menopause effects on the body, the mind. I am living and breathing it, unfortunately. But I call it sexy pause because I don't want it to take over my life, and I don't want it to define who I am. And I don't want to feel like this is the end. It's just the beginning. And so when we are going through any real transition in life, but specifically that midlife change, the one thing I'd love to stress to my clients or people who are curious of how to take care of themselves, less is more. The cardio, getting your heart rate up is important, but you do not have to run on the treadmill for over an hour at a time. You do not have to take aggressive cardio hit classes. Our total body conditioning class that we have here is probably the closest to a hit class yet, and it moves fast. But I'm always, even though I don't teach it, I'm always telling the students who want to take it, look, it's going to be challenging, but you take less steps, concentrate on your form. Less repetition with heavy weight is just as beneficial as, and it's more beneficial than running and jumping and doing any kind of cardio. That's going to mess up your knees at this point in your life, So using weight resistance is huge, and that's why Barre is such an important class. It works on isolating the muscles in each specific category and training that muscle to strengthen more than if you were walking or running or jumping. It's isolating, it's contracting, you're burning out that muscle, and then you're stretching it out to get a nice long lean figure, and to recover as well. So um, don't feel like people say, oh, yoga, I love yoga, but yoga is not really exercise. And I'm like, you try standing on one leg and holding your pose for a minute and using your breath. And don't tell me that your body isn't shaking. You know, you're building bone density, you're building muscle, you're building strength, and you're also learning to be in your zone and be connected to your breath and yourself. So I think yoga and bar and any kind of weight resistance training is so essential right now in that midlife time.
Could you do me a favor and explain the concept of bar and the benefits of bar and what that is all about? I know we talked a little bit about it last week, but we really focused a lot on the yoga. Could you share a little bit about the bar classes and how they work and what they're helping with our bodies?
Sure. So bar classes, they were the original founder or creator of it was Lottie Burke, and
Hmm.
she was a Pilates instructor and dancer who transformed the practice into using a ballet bar. And I want to be specific here because men seem to get intimidated by the word ballet bar.
Hmm.
Um, my husband is constantly dying in class, and afterwards, why aren't there more men here? Like he wants the bro support.
Yeah.
But using the belt, so it's a Pilates fusion class using dance techniques, strengthening techniques with the ballet bar, with weights, light weights, and some moderate heavier weights, resistance bands, slide discs, playground balls, even yoga blocks I use in my bar class. And it's about strengthening each muscle group. So the way we break it out is, we start with a warm up and then we isolate the thigh muscles, and that's usually the hardest part of the class. That's the part that most people really hate because their thighs are shaking and burning and they could barely stand through the practice. But at the end, they stretch it out and they feel accomplished and they feel like they really did something amazing and they felt so much stronger than they thought they were. And that's also a really beautiful and rewarding thing to see. So we break it out from thigh exercises. We move into the glutes, which is usually killer, and through each exercise, through the thighs, the glutes, the arms, the upper body, you're engaging your core the entire time. So it's very much of a core stabilizer exercise, and you're literally, if you're not engaging your core, you're not going to be doing it correctly. You're not going to be feeling the full effect of it. So I always say, don't worry about how many crunches we did at the end. That's just
Hmm.
kind of like the icing on the cake. It's really more about the stabilization, the balance, the holding yourself with your weights, plank poses, squats, though that you're going to get a much more toned abdominal area versus doing sit-ups or crunches. Sit-ups and
Got it.
crunches are really not isolating that
Hmm.
core, strengthening it.
Got it. All right. Thank you so much. What else for today did you want to share with everyone? Again, we're talking here to the owner, Jack Schott. It's Island Ohm Yoga and Bar Studio based out of Roosevelt Island. And again, I'm assuming, again, naive question for a Long Islander, used to be a cityite, but the tram runs, I guess, in the snow as well, right? That doesn't stop anything.
It does. It does. Sometimes there's only one tram running versus
Oh,
two.
okay.
The tram has been a bit of a challenge lately just because they are slowing it down because it was rocking a lot and scaring people. I would say I've lived here for 16 years and I've only had one rocking incident in my entire 16 years. So it
Wow.
is safe.
Okay.
It is it is not dangerous, and it's an amazing way of seeing the East River and the city and Long Island City views. It's quite magical in a sense. But yes, the tram runs, the F train runs. It's one stop after 63rd and Lex. We're the next stop. We also have the ferry that's been active for a few
Hmm.
years now from Astoria and the Upper East Side. And so there's plenty of ways of getting here, especially if you are in the midtown Upper East Side area, or Long Island City and Astoria. And you know, we have I think I mentioned it last time, we had a student that was coming for a specific class, the Kundalini classes, because it's hard to
Hmm.
Kundalini yoga in New York City right now in a lot of studios. And so, again, we're bringing classes that instead of having one specific class for the whole studio, we have special classes that you can only, that you can mix it up and mix up your practice and feel that yin yang in your life. So whether you're looking for more action or more of an intensity, you take the barre classes or the total body conditioning. And then if you want something more restorative, there's restorative yin, there's candlelight yoga, there's flow and restore, which is kind of the best of both worlds.
Hmm.
Um, Open level, we call it Om Flow. Those are open level classes. They're more vinyasa based. But again, each teacher has their own little flavor that they put in the sauce for each of those classes. And so you do really get a balanced
Yeah.
uh, wellness routine when you come here. And so one of our students who came for the Kundalini class, she's through Recalibrated Mind as her business, and she asked me if we could do sound bath meditations at the studio. And I said, why not? Let's try
Yeah.
it. And so I'm always open to hosting events and to having special workshops. And so she came and she is now one of our studio's favorite monthly workshops. And she comes from the city. She comes from the Upper East Side. She comes and does her workshop. The next one is, I believe, February 26th,
Okay.
is a sound bath, and it's a $40 drop-in, which you really can't find in the city for that. And it's basically a beautiful meditative shavasana. She does not want you to sleep in it, although some people do, but you are doing nothing but laying there and being fully supported by blankets and bolsters and your mat and your breath. And she plays the crystal singing bowls, which are just really healing on not just on an emotional level, but on an energetic level. There's science to it. She's also a Reiki master, so this is her jam, and this is what she loves to share with people. So if you are looking forward to doing something like that, look us up on the schedule on February 26th. And that's
Perfect.
islandhomenyc.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We still have plenty of time left to chat more about your services, of course, about the benefits of yoga, and just, a little background. I know since there's new listeners each and every time. The studio, you opened this during COVID, right? And just your personal story. I know we talked to drop off the top, but you suffered with chronic pain. You had a bad accident, quite a few years ago that really, harmed you in your body with inflammation and all. Could you just share a little bit of that story as to what, made you, open the studio and your passion and how it's helped you and your body and your mental well-being, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I mean, I feel like I would be, if I didn't find yoga, I don't know what kind of medications I would be on right now and how physically active I would be
Mm-hmm.
able to carry myself as.
Yeah.
And it's a sign of always follow your gut instincts and your gut intuition. So
Mm-hmm.
I was in a bad ski accident in my early 20s. Prior to that, I danced recreationally throughout my adolescence into my early college years. And when I got into the ski accident, my flexibility disappeared. I was in so much pain, and it wasn't just the torn ACL and the torn meniscus
Mm-hmm.
and the labral tear that was hurting me. when you get into an accident, you have an underlying autoimmune condition, and this can get generated at any time in your life. Trauma is going to activate that autoimmune condition, and it's going to create more inflammation throughout your body. And I wasn't really understanding that at the time. I was going through PT, and I loved the physical therapy exercises. I was afraid to do surgery at the time because I wasn't an athlete and I was working in the fashion industry, and I didn't think I'd have time for the healing process. But I found that physical therapy was more, not only did it strengthen my body, but it strengthened my mindset. And after 10 years of being in the fashion industry, I was just getting more unhealthy. I was feeling worse. The inflammation was getting worse. The sleep was getting worse. I had very unhealthy habits, eating and drinking a bottle of wine with my husband and that every evening. It was not ideal. And I wasn't really exercising or moving my body anymore. And my stress levels were off the charts. So I decided to quit my job. And I joined a ashram, or I signed up to take a training at an ashram, Shivananda ashram. And it was in the Bahamas at the time, but
Wow.
very rustic. Everyone's like, ooh, Bahamas. I'm like, it was so rustic that it was not luxurious in any way. And I always share this because I went there very unhealthy with unhealthy habits. And I had to cut alcohol, cut any kind of, cigarettes or substance abuse or whatever, any recreational thing you were doing. I had to quit meat. I had to, wake up at 5 in the morning or 4:30 in the morning to start a meditation every day and do yoga twice a day. And I was strung out in a sense because I was detoxing. And once I came off of the end of it, I learned about Ayurveda, and I met with an Ayurvedic doctor, which is the holistic science version of yoga, how to maintain yourself through Abhyanga, which is self massage with oils. Um, Also your diet, your sleep rituals, your meditation rituals, even your practice, and specifically your practice during the different phases of your cycle, which women never really think about. And it's really important, especially now that I'm in sexy pause, it's really important to pay attention to your cycle if you can, and know when you need something more restorative and when you need something more uplifting and more intensive. And so all of those, from that training, I went and took many other trainings, energetic work, therapeutic yoga, prenatal kids, Ayurveda, I said, and I kind of created my own practice within all the training that I did. And one of my gurus, Shiva Ray, she was the one I resonated with the most because she was a dancer and she used movement and what she called prana flow, energetic flow. And so I resonated with that so much. And it was the going in and out, the somatic movement of the practice that really started helping me get deeper into my poses, helped me get deeper into my breath, get deeper into myself. And really now, I really never second guess my gut instinct. It has really woken up that third eye in me, but really I call it's my internal eye, right at my core. So through practice of yoga, whether it's a serious practice or not, if you keep coming back to it, you're eventually gonna start seeing shifts. And on an energetic level and on an emotional level and on a physical level that you're not going to get from anything else. And so I really believe that yoga was a huge part of helping me carry myself, have two babies naturally and unmedicated, and get through all the difficulties and the tears that we have in life literally, and mending them from the inside out.
Got it. Well, thank you so much. And unfortunately, all good things have to come to an end, and we must say goodbye. And well, I won't say goodbye, but we'll say till next time. And I want to wish you, and you said it's Sienna. Is that your daughter's name?
Yes.
Very
Yes, Sienna.
happy 16th birthday today. So you must be so proud. I know. Mine are 10 and 8, but it's so exciting. And I hope you guys have a great dinner. And of course,
Enjoy the 10 and 8, though.
what?
Enjoy the preteen stage, the 10 and 8. That's like the special years. So
Yes and no, right? I know. It's like, and then you go to the next, and then you miss what you had, right? The grass is always greener, but enjoy. And thank you for being here and joining us as always. Would you mind sharing your contact information as well? How can we reach out to you?
Sure. You can, if you ever want to reach out via email, it's info@islandomnyc.com. And it's our website is islandomnyc.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
On Instagram and Facebook as well. So
great. Will do. Thank you again. Have a great day.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, game show host, father of 5, and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.